want to talk about miter saw safety? In 2025, I found about 50 amputations and severe injuries with the miter saw. This is almost double what the annual average is. About 7,000 people a year, with mostly homeowners, go to the hospital with serious injuries with the miter saw. The miter saw is required to have a blade guard that works. You can notice it'll retract when I go through it. There's going to be a lot of safety stickers like here, just a fence. This is the fence to make sure that you can get the proper cut. There'll be instructions on here, a hand with a red circle and a line going through it. You are now required to stay 6 inches away. So my idea of holding it like this and then cutting it is not allowed because I'm within the 6 inches. Where does that say that? In the manual. Manual will say always wear safety glasses, no gloves on the miter saw, and simple things like when you're going to start the blade, make sure the blade is getting a momentum at full speed. Don't put the blade on the wood and start it that way. You would think, well, I've used this for years, I wouldn't need to tell people, but new people who have not used this saw have been hurt by the other one. And one of the things they always tell you, after we've made our cut, we have to make sure the blade stops. Because if I'm in the down position here, and I put my hand to get some stuff out of the way, several amputations have happened from that because the blade is still moving. It's going to coast to a stop. It doesn't stop the minute you release it. So if I'm going to take a long piece or anything else, I can use the clamp. If I'm going to do a short piece, I have to clamp it down because I'm going to be within 6 inches. And I just put a little blue notch up here, and they make clamps, all different ones. This comes with a saw, and I can just tighten it down. And then I'm going to find the blue mark over here, and I'm right-handed, and I'm going to make sure when I cut that I'm out of the blade danger. My hand was in the way. That's not what you want to do. I've taught people for years, pull the blade down just so you don't have your thumb in this spot. That's a simple trick to go through. It takes you all of a second. But when you get an awkward piece, this is where people make the mistake. So if it's clamped down, I should be able to just pull it right down and go through and make the cut. It's very tempting to put your hand out here and not pay attention to this path. Some of the brand new saws are coming with a laser light, so you would see the red line, and you say, oh, my hand's in the red line. Again, people don't use this today. A lot of people have never used a saw, and the first time they might use it is when they're with your company, and you need to cover the do's and don'ts. I recommend a toolbox talk. Cover the major issues that are in the manual for safety, because little things like, I didn't know I was supposed to wear gloves. I didn't want to get splinters. Well, you need to wear probably the bloodborne nitrile gloves if that's something you're going to be worried about. But clamping it down, staying out of the 6-inch danger zone is a big deal. And this is from having a lot of amputations, but we're running into a lot of these injuries, things that I would say never, put the saw blade on and then start it. That's an injury common. Don't clear the stuff out when the blade is still moving, because if it comes down, your hand is right on top. And that's how people go. They clean it, and then the tendons up here get torn out. So very simple things to avoid a lot of these amputations and severe injuries. It's not always a amputation up here. It could be a lot of tendon repair, and you may have loss of grip and everything else. Thank you very much.